121-117 win. Devin Booker, 29 points. Gets hot later in the game. KD was there all night long, and the starter, Bradley Beal, 25.
How about that? 81 points for the big three. Gotta like that.
Yeah, and even better, too, when you look at Beal, Book, and KD, they scored 12 points in the final 3.5 minutes of this game in the fourth quarter when the Suns needed them the most.
I mean, if KD's going to get double, he's got to make the pass, and he did, or go rebound, and he did. So the guys are making the right play, but sometimes you just have to be aggressive and go score, because this Chicago team is not known for their defense.
Yeah, and I know everybody continues to eyeball the Suns' big three, and whether or not who's going to get the shots, who's going to be the playmaker. A lot of times it's Devin Booker, who's the one dishing out the assists. But it felt like a better balance today in Chicago.
Yeah, it really was. And it wasn't just KD going, because they were running at him. I mean, KD got himself to the free throw line doing other things rather than trying to shoot and score and get the free throws. But yeah, Book had a couple of huge ones.
Yeah, that was that rebound that he didn't get credit for KD. But then it's Book hitting the shot, Beal hitting the shot, KD knocking down free throws in the final 3.5 minutes to seal the deal in Chicago. More to come on Suns post-game time. We got this guy's top five. The Suns win it over the Bulls, and looking ahead to the Raptors in Toronto tomorrow. A quick turnaround. Bull making an impact in the first half. Time for TC's top five. We begin with some Plum Power.
Plum Power. How about that? Back to back. Dookie to Dookie, and then, oh, look at that. What a great pass, Greg.
Oh, he did a full 360 after that pass. I didn't see that the first time from Grayson.
Plum Dog, runner. I like a rim runner. Doesn't happen often enough. You know, he likes to pass from in there. This right here, that's right. That's strong.
Very strong.
He was in the weight room during the All-Star break, right?
And here's number three.
Get that out of there, Bull.
Thanks for trying to set me up on that one. I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
I like that, Bull. Yep. Circus shot of his own. And Nick, flush it on the little fellow with the fluffy hair. Oh, man.
Numero uno.
Number one.
How about behind the backboard. Behind the backboard.
Strong.
Oh, Larry Bird would be so proud.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing.
Where are you?
You keep taking my lines.
It's your top five.
Yeah, no.
I just try to embellish. Yeah, no, you are awful, man. Let's go places with our Valley Toyota dealers and take a look at the Suns' upcoming schedule. I'm supposed to be the guy making you laugh, the other way around. Toronto, tomorrow, 3:30 p.m., Suns game time with the legend Tom Chambers. The Raptors right now, by the way, 21 games under 500, but man, they've got a talented roster. Suns will then close out the road trip at Memphis against the Grizzlies. But man, they got Scotty Barnes, they've got RJ Barrett, they've got Grady. Richard, I knew you were going to go there. Emmanuel Quickly.
Yes, yeah. And then they got Brandon Ingram now if they ever decide to play him.
Well, yes, they have him on the roster. But
and Jakob Poeltl's been good, but he's been sitting out a lot too. So I think they want to get that pick. They're fighting with Chicago for that pick.
Oh, Book.
Oh, yeah.
Winning the foosball tournament with Benny the Bull.
He won it. You're not allowed to take your hands off those things, though, are you? Supposed to keep it down.
All right, question.
Yeah.
Foosball, air hockey, or Pac-Man? For you.
Oh, man. I'm a Pac-Man fiend, but I love me some air hockey, too. That was always fun, yeah.
That's a little more.
You're old school.
More aggressive.
Most people don't even know what those three things are in today's world.
No. Google it.
Google it.
We go back in the Suns starting lineup. Suns taking on the Bulls. And Bradley's college coach, Billy Donovan. He and the Bulls took the early lead, but Donovan had no defense. So Book's beauty over the backboard.
How about that?
Oh, my goodness. Suns are down 13 in the first half. They were up 2 at halftime. Nick with a killer crush and a face full of fluff. Jamming on Kobe White. I knew that would get you. Suns win at 121-117.
Is that all you do? Is you just want to see if you get me?
Fluff. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of our favorite term lately. Welcome to Suns post-game time, sponsored by Sweet James. That's the legend Tom Chambers, and that was a very important victory for the Phoenix Suns.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Needed. Very much needed.
What were you saying, like in the little break when we jumped in there in the fourth quarter?
That's all I care about.
A win.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish they wouldn't like add any more gray hairs, even though I don't have about all of them.
You mean that fluff up there?
Yeah, all of them are gray anyway. But it's like, can't we just put like I said at halftime, put your pedal down to the metal and let her go, and it just can't do it. Yeah,
you got to think about ratings. Got to keep people locked in, not knowing what the end result's going to be. But in the beginning, the Suns were turning the ball over. They had 7 turnovers in the first half, resulting in a bunch of Bulls points. And Booker got off to a really slow start, TC. Goes 2 of 9 to begin the game. After that, makes 8 of his next 11.
Yeah, he got to be in book again. Got the little bit of rust off for taking that week off. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was giddy.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
And how about that?
Yeah, bully.
He taking a couple of shots to the chest.
Bully ball.
Yeah.
On the man from down under.
Man, had a rough one in Austin, Texas the other night and came out strong, especially
strong
second
as can be, yeah.
All the big 3 for the Suns.
Yeah,
they're huge down the stretch.
Yeah, the numbers that they had together when you're talking about points, rebounds, and assists was just spectacular.
81 points for the Suns' terrific trio. Booker with the 29, Beal 25, KD 27. And KD, the job that he did on the boards, he got that rebound. He didn't actually get credit for the rebound. I guess they called the foul before he actually had possession.
Come on, man. He got the rebound.
So he ends up, I think, with 11 rebounds instead of 12. But that was a big stop by Nick Richards as well. A couple of big defensive stops. We're hoping to hear from him in just a couple of minutes.
Well, they made him cough it up a couple of times, you know, and were able to score on the break because of the turnovers that they caused. So you like the defensive pressure being applied, and when the Suns needed to get a stop, they were able to do so.
Bradley Beal, very diplomatic, talking about the change in the starting lineup because he had really seemed to adjust to that 6-man role. He gets the starts and kind of saying, not a big deal, a smile on his face.
You believe him?
Well, yeah, he had a kind of a smile. I think there was something underlying in his answers to Amanda, but we're waiting on Nick Richards here. But what did you think of that move? When we first heard that Beal was back in the starting lineup and Tyus Jones comes off the bench.
It shocked me. It really did. I mean, Tyus was brought in here to be that guy that kind of gets them all in the right spot at the right time. And Bradley was, I thought, settling into that 6-man role and doing a phenomenal job at that. But this team needed something, you know, and if they're going to continue to shake it up, are they going to stay with this? Who knows? I don't know. But I just know that they got to win, and they need to get another one. Toronto is not a very good team.
Suns had lost 7 of 8 coming into this game. The Bulls now have lost 6 in a row. Waiting on Nick Richards. We have Nick. Still waiting on Nick. So, KD, he's reading the stat sheet. KD knocking down the free throws down the stretch. We talked about the terrific trio. Book hits a 3, Beal hits a 3, so gave them just enough breathing room.
Yeah, absolutely. And those 4 free throws from KD, and, you know, a young fella fouling him twice. Phillips is like, do you understand that this man does not miss a free throw in that situation? I mean, Coach Donovan's got to be like me, getting some gray hairs on that one.
Yeah, all right, back to the United Center. Here he is, Nick Richards, as advertised. So, Nick, we talked about the Suns having dropped 7 of the last 8 games. How critical, how important was this win for you and the team today in Chicago?
I mean, it's very important. You know, we're right outside the spot for the play-in tournament. So every single win, every single game means more than anything for the rest of the season.
Well, we appreciate you going to the basket, getting some big hoops for this Suns team. But I want to know, have you got all of your luggage out to Phoenix yet? Did you drive a moving van from Charlotte, Charlotte to Arizona? What did you do during the break?
I mean, well, everybody was at the beach. I was at my crib in Charlotte, moving furniture. So
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I got all my stuff on the way to Phoenix right now.
So you and Mason Plumlee obviously locked into this game, knowing too that this Bulls team is guard heavy. They have 8 guards on their roster. Did you kind of feel going in that you guys could use your size in this one?
Definitely, for sure. You know, I tried my best to get as many offensive rebounds as possible. You know, Vooch is a big guy down there. I think we went back and forth a little bit on the boards. As you know, it was a great battle for, you know, just not me personally, but also Mason.
Well, you did a nice job against Vooch. Vooch, I mean, he wasn't making any shots early, and if he would have been, the Suns team would have been deeper in that. So when you came out, and you've guarded him a lot, obviously, being in the East, playing against him, I mean, what is it that you do to try and stop him from getting his game going?
I mean, just trying to make all the shots as difficult as possible. You know, he was missing a lot of threes in the first half. You know, came out making 2 in the second half. You know, I think he got a little bit more aggressive towards the end of the game.
All right, Nick, appreciate the time. I know you guys got to hop back on the plane. Got a back-to-back tomorrow in Toronto. We will see you then.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right, thanks, Nick. Talking about the three-point shooting, too, Vooch was definitely off his game for that. But even when you look at Chicago as a plus 21 from behind the line, they knocked down 8 more threes than the Suns, and yet the Suns still got the win. That's usually a recipe for disaster.
Well, it is. You know, the Suns out-rebounded them. I mean, it got closer there at the end. But, yeah, what else is this Chicago team going to do? You talk about 8 guards in their 10-man rotation. I mean, they're going to be chucking, you know, and they made some. They didn't shoot a bad percentage, although 18 of 53. I don't know what that adds up to, but it can't be real good.
Oh, I can come up
can
with
you do that for me?
Yeah, that's 34%.
Well, that's good, because Sheila lost my iPad for me.
Did she? Oh, I wondered.
Yeah, she left it somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, it looks a little barren over there. No. Back to Chicago with the Hall of Famer Ann Myers-Drysdale. It's kind of nice to all smile right now. I mean, it just feels good to get the win. Yes, kind of a precarious win down the stretch. But I want to ask you about Bradley Beal and getting the start and what your opinion of that was, what your reaction, because I don't think any of us really knew until about a half hour before tip.
Yeah, that's right. And as TC said, I mean, it's the first game that Tyus Jones has missed as a starter. But Bradley Beal, to see those three together, you know, I think it's still a work in progress. But I thought that first quarter, you know, they were still trying to feel each other out. They missed a lot of easy shots, a lot of good shots. But, you know, they stuck with it. And I think that Beal knocking down a couple threes, as he mentioned, that to Amanda, that, you know, the Bulls were talking a little bit of trash, didn't make him happy. But him knocking down those 2 threes, I think, really kind of opened up the game for them, because that second quarter they came out really strong.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, we talk about all the points they scored, the rebounds they got, the assists they got, but they need to get stops. And when they got a couple of stops there at the end of the game, that's when they were able to win. Because of the 2 stops, they were able to win the game. What's going to take for this team to actually do that more often to get themselves? Because when they play defense, Andy, they can beat anybody.
No, you're absolutely right. Any team, they play defense, that's going to win. I mean, we all talk about points and 3-point shots and how much you're going to score, but it's the defense. It's the defense and rebounding are the 2 things that really stand out. And then taking care of the basketball. I think that, especially in the second half, they did a much better job taking care of the basketball. And we know this is a team that turns the ball over quite a bit. But if you put some pressure defensively on your opponent, they're going to come up with steals. They're going to get easy baskets, as you well know. And we saw that, you know, the Bulls had quite a few points off fast breaks. And they're a team that just likes to push the ball because, as you said, they've got so many guards and they're going to look to run. But I think, too, that, you know, the ball control was really good with the Suns. They recognize that Chicago was having a tough time guarding Richards on that pick and roll, and give credit to the Suns as far as recognizing getting him the ball and the timing off that. And then if he was getting covered late in the game, you know, they had the wing flare out and they got the ball to him and they got the shot off. So, you know, I thought their patience and their offense in the second half was really, really good.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see tomorrow whether or not Coach Bud still goes with Bradley Beal in the starting lineup. We don't have long to wait to find out what the answer will be, because Tyus struggled off the bench in terms of shooting, 0 of 5, but did have 6 assists off the bench for the Suns. Let's get back to the Suns bigs. You were touching on Nick Richards, but also Mason Plumlee. Those 2, Andy, combined for 25 points and 15 rebounds. Terrific defense in the paint by Richards, especially late in that fourth quarter. That was critical to this victory because, again, Vooch is really the only big on that roster.
Yeah, and it makes it tough for Chicago, but the fact that Phoenix really took advantage of that with their 2 bigs inside and also with Plumlee and Richards looking to score. And that's trust. That's confidence by your teammates to get you the ball and want you to flush the ball, especially Richards. And, you know, K-Ray was saying that he had over 100 dunks with Charlotte this season. And so you'd like to see him kind of really come in there strong and put the ball down rather than just kind of, you know, looking for a reverse or laying it up off the glass or dropping it in and just put it down so nobody can get the block. But, you know, I thought he was aggressive today. I thought he was physical on the defensive end. And Plumlee, you know, he plays so hard. And I like when he does look to take his shot. I like when he's deeper in the lane. He's got a great little jump hook, but sometimes he passes those up. But, you know, that's just getting the minutes, getting the reps with your teammates and so forth, and getting that chemistry and the timing together. So, you know, you've got to look for what's open. And I thought that the big 3, scoring 80+ points together, and they all rebounded, they all passed the ball. I think that was a big key, that those 3 got everybody else involved.
And all three made big plays down the stretch, as we talked about, 81 points combined. We will see you tomorrow from Toronto, crossing the border. Suns taking on the Raptors. Annie, thanks so much.
Thanks, Annie.
All right, done with one here on Suns post-game time. Suns win at 121-117 over the Bulls in Chicago. Still ahead. Full highlights. We'll hear from Coach Bud and, of course, TC's Top 5.